This is the first time I'm doing something like this when it comes to editing, etc. So I'd really appreciate all feedback possible on what to improve and what to do different, as well as what was good with the video. I hope this video will help you and hope you enjoy it. Thank you. This is my opinion and the way I play. There's many ways to play the game. I don't look at my own way as the best, but this is how I do it. How to play with high ground. So in this video I will go over things that I think about and consider important when it comes to playing with high ground in scrims, as well as how to get the high ground and everything else that comes with it. So first I want to talk about how to get the high ground late game. There's multiple ways to do so and I will cover the ones I use. Remember that these are all situational and work in different scenarios. Number 1. Getting the 50-50 zone and building up. Sometimes you're lucky enough to be on the correct side of the circle when the 50-50 zone shifts. When you're already in the 50-50 zone when it switches, you can just build up and keep the high ground. I will cover more later in the video on how to sustain it. Number 2. Having a high ground already close to the 50-50 zone and expanding to it. This means that your base is already close enough to the next zone that you can just floor out a few floors and support it, and you can sustain the height from there. Number 3. Movement items. This is a little bit tricky because you can use movement items very effectively low ground as well, but I will cover this in another video. For this video, we're gonna talk about the jump pad, the rift to go grappler, or even portafort bouncers to get to the zone either fast or late. You can use them fast by rotating early and getting the high ground, or you can use them late to catch the high ground off guard and take it from them. Number 4. Rotating quick and ramping over current high ground. In the clip in the background, you can see in the start that I ramped over the current high ground and took it from them. This is very effective when you're close to the 50-50 zone when it switches. This is something I like to do a lot, where I rotate quick and just ramp over the turtles and take high ground from there. Number 5. Dropping the current high ground and overtaking it. If you have a lot of splodes, you knock down the current high ground, ramp over, and take it. This is something I like to do if I have a lot of splodes. Number 6. Stealing height in moving circles against people with bad awareness. When I say bad awareness, what I mean is people that's not tracking their enemies. So what you can do is you can stay on the side of the circle that's moving and ramp up behind them if they're too busy flooring out in the zone. They might not even see you. Walk up behind them and just ramp above and you have free height. So these are the 6 ways to get high ground I use the most. I will cover in a more in-depth way when to use this, in what situation they're most effective in another video, if you guys want a more in-depth sort of style. Sustaining high ground. In this part of the video, I will cover what you need to think about and what you need to be aware of when you already have the high ground. Number 1. Making sure no one else is close to the same height. This means that you need to pay attention around you to see if someone builds up. If someone is close to your high ground or is building up, you need to make sure that you pressure them correctly so they don't go higher. And this way you will sustain your height. This is very important, or else you can get overtaken by a team that's playing aggressive. Number 2. Being aware of enemy movement and tracking under you. This is very important, or else people can sneak up behind you or try to take the height from the side. You need to make sure that you know where the enemy's close under you is at all times and paying attention to everyone else moving. This way you will sustain your high ground. When it comes to being aware of enemy movement, it's also very important to look up at all times to see if people are gliding from rifts or pads. You hear the sound cues for when the rift pops, but sometimes it's too laggy, so you need to make sure you're aware that there can be enemies above you. When there is enemies above you, try to pressure them down or build up, place a floor and a trap so they can't land on your high ground. Number 3. Do not overbuild and keep track of your mats. This means that you don't need to spam build to keep your high ground. You can pay attention to your surroundings and see if people are able to pressure you or not. If no one can pressure you, you're fine to walk on one floor. This means that you save a lot of materials and you can sustain your height for longer. It's also very important to keep track of your materials. If you're low on materials, you need to see it before it's too late so your teammate can drop you or you can go down. Number 4. It's very important to pressure down and up while you're moving with the circle. This way you will pick up a few kills as well. Also, it's very important to be aware of your surroundings. I see way too many players not paying attention around them and losing because of it, so please, please, please pay attention to your surroundings. That's it for this video, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned a few things.